Okay, by the end of our lesson today, all of you should be able to write a description of a celebration or a special day.
Malaysia has a number of festivals and celebrations, most of which are either religious or cultural in origin. Almost every month of the year, tourists and locals alike immerse themselves in one celebration or another, thanks to the diverse cultural practices we have here. So, here's our list of the top 5 festivals celebrated by Malaysians. In number 5, we have Kaamatan. It's a harvest festival celebrated annually in the state of Sabah in Malaysia. It's normally celebrated by the ethnic Kadazan Dusuns as well as other related ethnic groups in the state, and lasts for a whole month of May, ending with a public holiday on a date selected by the priestess known as the Bobohizan. A beauty pageant known as Unduk Ngada will be held and it ends the harvest festival. A popular drink during the festival is tapai, which is a traditional alcoholic drink. Tapai is drunk from a small bamboo vessel or special glasses which are also made from bamboo. Traditional dances such as Sumazau, Sumirit, and Magunatip are performed during this festival. Next up, we have Gawai Dayak. It's celebrated by the Dayak, which generally refers to the Iban, Bidayo, and Orang Ulu communities in Sarawak. During this festival, the elders perform traditional rites, everyone dresses in their traditional costumes, and there's food and drinks such as rice wine, which is known as tuak, generously served along every longhouse. Widespread celebrations are not held only in the main cities and towns, but also in the interior settlements. This harvest festival gives thanks to the gods for the bounty of the land. With centuries of tradition behind it, this native ritual involves communication with the spirit world, ancestral worship, and feasting with family and friends of the whole community. It is celebrated mid-year on June 1st and 2nd, though unofficially, the festivals begin during the last week of May and continue through mid-June. Usually, the people of many longhouses harvest their rice fields well before the big day and have their own small-scale gawai feast at the end of their harvest. In Kuching, celebrations start a week before with colorful street parades and cultural activities. On the eve of Gawai, a grand state dinner is held at the Civic Center with singing, dancing, and a beauty pageant which determines the crowning of several Gawai queens, one for each community. Obviously, Gawai Dayak is the best and most interesting time to visit Sarawak as you can see and sample the lifestyle and its festivities. All visitors are warmly received and accepted as new friends even if they happen to be strangers. Coming up at number 3, we have Deepavali. Deepavali in Malaysia is celebrated by the local Hindu community. Also known as Diwali or Festival of Lights, the religious event falls on the day before the new moon according to the lunar calendar. As with most festivals in Malaysia, Deepavali is a day for people of all races and religions getting together with lively open houses, firework displays, and a wide range of Indian delicacies. About a week prior to the celebration, Hindus conduct a massive spring cleaning of their homes while lit oil lamps are placed around different areas of the house, especially on the porch or balcony. Meanwhile, Hindu temples all over Malaysia are lavishly decorated with flowers while offerings of fruits and coconut milk are placed at the altars by devotees. Some also prepare for this festival by going on a fast or a vegetarian diet. On the morning of Deepavali, many Hindus take an oil bath before heading to the temples for prayers and ceremonial rites. For the rest of the day, they usually open their houses to guests, friends, and neighbors to feast on delicious Indian food such as sweetmeats, rice puddings, and muruku. Houses are decorated with colored paper lanterns and kolam this time of the year. Kolam refers to intricate temporary floor designs made from dyed rice and colorful powders. Kolam takes much practice to perfect, and you'll definitely appreciate the ones you see inside shopping malls and other public places. If possible, try to get invited into a Hindu house to view the beautiful kolam patterns. Since Deepavali is a time for open houses among Hindus, they will most probably invite you before you can even ask. In number 2, we have Chinese New Year. Chinese New Year is a Chinese festival that celebrates the beginning of a new year on the traditional Chinese calendar. This is a time for families to come together and wish each other good fortune in the coming year, and family gatherings are held on Lunar New Year's Eve. Yisang is one of the traditional dishes savored during Chinese New Year. Over the course, the salad has exploded with a variety of colors and flavors, including red and green dyed radish strips, candied orange peels, and even the use of salmon. The popular custom is for all to gather around the dining table and toss the ingredients high in the air with joyful exclamations to wish for abundant luck and happiness for all. Other than that, a food that is a must-have delicacy during this festival is nian gao. Nian gao is a food prepared from glutinous rice flour. It's believed that eating nian gao has symbolism of raising oneself higher in each coming year. Nian gao is a homophone to another word that implies promotions or prosperity year after year. This association makes nian gao a popular gift item during the Chinese New Year period. Ang pao or red packet filled with money are traditionally handed out by married couples to their parents, single adults, and children during the Chinese New Year celebration as a token of good fortune and blessing. It is said there is no exact amount to put in the ang pao because the meaning behind giving out the ang pao is a gesture of blessing and not a transaction. Lion dance is also synonymous with Chinese New Year celebrations as the lion symbolizes courage, determination, and resourcefulness. Therefore, lion dance performances are believed to bring good fortune. During Chinese New Year, mandarin oranges are considered traditional symbols of abundance and good fortune. During the 2-week celebration, they are frequently displayed as decorations and presented as gifts to friends, relatives, and business associates. Finally, we have Hari Raya Aidilfitri, also called the Festival of Breaking the Fast. It's a religious holiday celebrated by Muslims worldwide that marks the end of the month-long dawn-to-sunset fasting of Ramadan. This religious Eid is the first and only day in the month of Shawwal during which Muslims are not permitted to fast. Muslims wake up early to visit the mosque to thank God for the blessings they have in life. They will seek forgiveness and receive green packets of money from their elders. While dressed in their best clothes, they will pay a visit to their relatives, family, and friends to dig into traditional delicious food such as ketupat and lemang. Most Muslims in Malaysia don't expect guests to present gifts or cash. However, if a guest insists on presenting something, then sweets, cookies, and kueh are the best and will be the most appreciated by the hosts. Guests should also look out for what not to give. Black is an avoidable color, while wine, champagne, and other form of alcohol is forbidden for Muslims. Non-Muslims are not expected to be dressed in traditional Malay clothes. However, it might please your host if you made the effort. Wearing casual clothes and not wearing anything too revealing is completely acceptable. A green envelope is a Malay adaptation of the Chinese envelope custom. During this festival, Muslims in Malaysia hand out money in green envelopes to guests who visit their home.
Okay, peoples, based on the video that you watched just now, can you say it out loud? What are the celebrations of festival mentioned in the video? Okay, number 5 is keamatan. Yes, correct. Okay, number 4 is Gawai Dayak. And number 3, yes, it's Deepavali. And number 2, Chinese New Year. Yes, you are there already. And number 1 is Hari Raya Aidilfitri. Okay, congratulations, you have done it very well. Before we begin our lesson today, let me show you the framework of our lesson today. First and foremost, we will go through the sample writing about the celebrations. After that, we are going to discuss steps in writing your favorite celebration using the framework in the sample writing. And last but not least, we are going to have a short discussion on the use of language point also. Without further ado, we are going to start with our very first activity of our lesson today, which is to read about the Notting Hill Carnival. Let's read this text together, and at the same time, I want you to focus on the use of the language point, which is the word also. So, are you ready? Let's read this together. The Notting Hill Carnival by Tamsin Lucas. Every year in London, there is a big celebration called the Notting Hill Carnival. The carnival is in August and the people in it celebrate Caribbean culture. In the carnival, there are big parades in the street and there's Caribbean food. People make costumes for the parades. They also play music and dance in the streets. It's noisy, but it's also friendly. I don't usually wear a costume, but I always watch the parades. I also dance because I really like Caribbean music. It's a lot of fun. Okay, this is actually a sample text that you are going to use in writing your own description of your favorite celebration or day. If you look at each sentence in each paragraph thoroughly, you can see that the first sentence that I underlined is talking about the celebration. So, in the very first sentence of your writing, we need to introduce first the name of the celebration. After that, we shall proceed with when does the celebration happen. If we look at the second paragraph here, this is actually talking about what do people do during the celebration. And after that, as you can see, the sentence that I underline in green, this is also describing the thing that you yourself usually do during the celebration. And last but not least, you also need to tell what do you like or dislike during the celebration. So basically, the writing is from general to specific. Okay, because you talk about the celebration first in general form, then you mention when is it happens, okay, and what do people do during the celebration, and then you talk about what do you usually do, and last but not least, you talk about what do you like or dislike about the celebration. So basically, the description that we are going to do today is answering these 5 questions. Now, let's try to describe a celebration in your country. I believe all of my peoples are all Malaysians. So I'm going to take the latest celebration celebrated in our country recently, which is Hari Raya Aidilfitri. So let us think and plan first by asking the same questions to ourselves first. The first question is, what's the celebration? I already mentioned that we are going to write about Hari Raya Aidilfitri, right? So this is the sample sentence that I should write in my description. Every year, there's a celebration called Hari Raya Aidilfitri in my country, Malaysia. So, as you can see here, the words in yellow is actually the answer of this question. In order to make my answer look lengthy, I added some key phrases to make my point look better. When is it? This year, Hari Raya Aidilfitri falls in May. So, the celebration is in May. What do people do? During the celebration, people wear baju Melayu and baju kurung. They visit relatives and friends. They also play fireworks. These are the common things that Malaysians do during the celebration. What do you usually do during the celebration? I usually wear baju kurung and take good pictures with my family. Okay, for this part, it's not necessary for you to follow exactly what I wrote. You can use your own opinions if you have other than mine. Okay, so the next question, which is question number 5, what do you like or dislike about the celebration? In my opinion, I really like receiving Duit Raya from the elders. So now, how are we going to write these 5 answers in 3 paragraphs? So look at this. The first and second answers of the first and second questions, I'm going to put it in the first paragraph. Okay, so for the answer for question number 3, I'm going to put it in the second paragraph. Right? Okay, for the answer for question number 4 and 5, I'm going to put it in the third paragraph. So now we are going to rewrite the answers into 3 paragraphs. Every year, there is a celebration called Hari Raya Aidilfitri in my country, Malaysia. The celebration is in May. During the celebration, people wear baju Melayu and baju kurung. They visit relatives and friends. They also play fireworks. I usually wear baju kurung and take good pictures with my family. I really like receiving duit raya from the elders. How do we use the word also? First, we need to understand what is the meaning of also. In Bahasa Melayu, also means juga. Also is used when an additional idea is connected to the first idea. Okay, peoples, now take a look at the reading text again. You see, the word also here actually happens before the verb. Okay, the verb here is play, and also only happens before the verb play. So this is the first condition when we want to use the word also. The second condition that I can see in the reading text is it actually happens after the verb to be is. So remember, the word also is used under these second conditions. The first is it happens before the verb, and the second one is it happens after the verb to be. Verb to be here means am, is, are, was, were. Is it clear? Okay, now let me introduce you a few examples so that you can understand better the use of the word also. So look at the first example. People make costumes for the parades. They also play music and dance in the streets. So as you can see here, the word play is the verb. So also should be placed before the verb. Hence, this is actually the connecting ideas of the first sentence. For the second example, okay, it is noisy, but it is also friendly. As you can see here at the example here, also occurs only after the verb to be is. So this is the second condition of it, and as you can see here, the idea of it is also friendly, is connected to the first idea, which is noisy. So that's all of our lesson today. Okay, peoples, now we have come to the end of our lesson. So your task is you got to write a celebration or a special day in your country. Okay, I hope that you are able to write an essay on a celebration or a special day in your country. Okay, good luck.